Welcome back to my channel. What looks like an ordinary Sacagawea dollar has become one of the most fascinating modern coins for collectors. But the real story isn't about the coin itself. It's about the tiny details that can separate a common example from one that attracts serious collector attention. Stay with us as we uncover its history, hidden varieties, and what authenticated examples have actually sold for. First coin. The 2000p Sacagawea dollar is one of those modern American coins that can easily be overlooked in everyday change, yet it holds a fascinating place in United States numismatic history. At first glance, it appears to be an ordinary golden-colored dollar coin, but experienced collectors know that appearances can be deceiving. Produced during a major transition in America's circulating coinage, this Philadelphia Mint issue represents the beginning of an entirely new dollar series and introduced one of the nation's most historically significant figures to millions of Americans. While countless examples entered circulation, only a small fraction survived in exceptional condition, and an even smaller number display unusual characteristics that attract serious collectors. As this story unfolds, you'll discover how this coin came to exist, what makes certain authenticated examples dramatically more desirable than others, and what professionally certified specimens have actually sold for in today's collector market. The answers depend on far more than the date or the small P mint mark alone, making this one of the most educational modern coins for anyone interested in understanding rarity and collector value. The arrival of the Sacagawea dollar in 2000 marked the United States Mint's attempt to revive the use of the dollar coin after the limited public acceptance of the Susan B. Anthony dollar. Congress authorized a new design that would celebrate the contributions of Sacagawea, the young Shoshone woman whose knowledge and guidance played a vital role during the Lewis and Clark expedition from 1804 through 1806. Rather than simply replacing one design with another, the Mint wanted to create a coin that Americans would immediately recognize and appreciate. The Philadelphia Mint, identified by the P mint mark on the obverse, became one of the primary production facilities for this inaugural issue. The year 2000 also carried symbolic importance because it introduced the series, the beginning of a new millennium, giving the coin additional historical significance. Although the government hoped the golden appearance would distinguish it from other circulating coins and encourage widespread public use, paper $1 bills remained overwhelmingly popular, limiting the coin's circulation despite an enormous production effort. Physically, the 2000p Sacagawea dollar differs from nearly every other modern circulating United States coin. It weighs 8.1 grams, measures 26.5 millimeters in diameter, and features a smooth edge rather than the reeded edge found on quarters and half dollars. Its distinctive golden color comes not from actual gold, but from a carefully engineered manganese brass outer layer bonded to a pure copper core. This composition was selected to provide durability while creating an attractive appearance that could be easily distinguished in circulation. The obverse was designed by Glenna Goodacre, whose portrait of Sacagawea carrying her infant son Jean-Baptiste has become one of the most admired modern coin designs ever issued by the United States Mint. The reverse, created by Thomas D. Rogers, S.R., depicts a soaring eagle surrounded by 17 stars representing the states that existed during the Lewis and Clark expedition. Together, the artwork reflects themes of exploration, courage, and national expansion, while honoring indigenous history in a way that had never before appeared on an American circulating dollar. The Philadelphia Mint struck hundreds of millions of these inaugural coins during 2000, making the date itself relatively common in circulated grades. However, mintage figures alone rarely determine collector value. What matters far more is the number of coins that remain with original mint luster, strong strikes, and surfaces free from distracting contact marks. Because so many coins were transporting in large bags before entering storage or circulation, countless examples acquired nicks and abrasions almost immediately after striking. This is especially important for the Sacagawea dollar because its broad open fields and golden alloy tend to reveal contact marks quite easily under proper lighting. Collectors therefore pay close attention to strike sharpness, original satin-like luster, and the preservation of fine details in Sacagawea's hair, facial features, and the eagle's feathers. Coins that spent years in circulation generally hold only face value, while attractive mint state examples certified by respected grading services begin attracting noticeably stronger premiums. Professionally graded MS-67 examples have commonly traded in the neighborhood of about $1,100 to $1,700 when eye appeal and certification align with strong collector demand, although values continue to fluctuate with market conditions. Perhaps the most famous chapter in the story of the 2000p Sacagawea dollar involves the remarkable group of coins known as the Cheerios dollars. As part of a nationwide promotion before the coin officially entered circulation, specially packaged examples were inserted into selected cereal boxes. Years later, researchers discovered that some of these promotional dollars displayed enhanced tail feather details on the reverse, representing an earlier design hub that differed from regular production coins. These authenticated varieties became one of the most celebrated modern United States mint discoveries of the 21st century. It is extremely important to understand that not every Cheerios promotional coin possesses the enhanced reverse, and not every 2000p Sacagawea dollar is a rare variety. Only authenticated examples verified by major third-party grading companies receive the designation that collectors seek. Certified specimens with this genuine enhanced tail feathers variety have realized several $1,000s at auction, with exceptional high-grade examples sometimes exceeding $4,000, demonstrating how a subtle design difference can transform an otherwise common coin into a highly desirable modern rarity. Beyond the famous Cheerios variety, specialists also examine 2000p Sacagawea dollars for legitimate mint errors and die varieties. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, double strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, struck-through errors, and dramatic die breaks occasionally appear and can generate significant interest depending on their severity and authenticity. Some doubled dies have also been documented. Although many online claims involve ordinary machine doubling or simple die deterioration rather than true collectible varieties, authentication, therefore, becomes absolutely essential before assigning any substantial value to an unusual-looking coin. Collectors should also be cautious of altered pieces that have been artificially plated, polished, engraved, or damaged in an attempt to imitate rare mint errors. Genuine mint errors occur during the manufacturing process and display characteristics that experienced numismatists can identify under magnification. Professionally certified dramatic errors in high mint state grades have occasionally sold for approximately $2,000 to $3,600, but such prices are reserved for scarce, authenticated examples with strong collector appeal rather than ordinary circulation coins showing post-mint damage. Grading plays an equally critical role in determining the desirability of this Philadelphia issue. Modern coins are evaluated using the Sheldon numerical grading scale, ranging from poor 1 through mint state 70 for uncirculated pieces. For the 2000p Sacagawea dollar, the difference between MS-65 and MS-68 may appear subtle to an inexperienced eye, yet that distinction can dramatically influence collector demand. Specialists carefully inspect luster quality, strike definition, surface preservation, and overall eye appeal under controlled lighting and magnification. Unlike classic copper coins, the Sacagawea dollar is not categorized by traditional color designations such as brown, or red because of its manganese brass composition. Instead, collectors focus on original golden coloration and the absence of spotting, discoloration, environmental damage, or excessive abrasions. Certification by respected grading companies also provides confidence that the coin is genuine and accurately graded, reducing uncertainty for buyers and sellers alike. This assurance becomes increasingly valuable as prices rise, particularly for top population examples where even a single grade difference can influence auction competition among advanced collectors. For anyone fortunate enough to encounter a 2000p Sacagawea dollar today, patience and careful examination are far more valuable than excitement alone. Begin by confirming the date and the P mint mark, then inspect the surfaces under good lighting without attempting to clean or polish the coin. Cleaning permanently alters the original surfaces and almost always reduces collector value, even if the coin initially appears brighter afterward. Store promising examples in inert holders, archival quality flips, or hard plastic capsules that minimize exposure to moisture, fingerprints, and airborne contaminants. If the coin appears exceptionally well preserved or displays an unusual design feature, professional authentication should be considered before reaching conclusions about its rarity or value. While the vast majority of 2000p Sacagawea dollars remain common, authenticated high-grade pieces, legitimate mint errors, and recognized varieties continue to command strong attention from collectors who appreciate modern United States coinage. Ultimately, this coin serves as a reminder that true numismatic value is determined not by hope or speculation, but by a combination of authenticity, preservation, rarity, historical significance, certified grade, and the ever-changing demand of the marketplace. Next coin. The 2000D Sacagawea dollar occupies a remarkable place in modern American numismatics because it represents far more than the first Denver mint issue of a new dollar series. Although millions of these coins were produced, collectors have learned that only a tiny percentage possess the combination of preservation, strike quality, and originality needed to stand out in today's competitive market. At first glance, the small D mint mark beneath the date simply identifies Denver as the place of manufacture, but experienced numismatists recognize that this single letter begins a much deeper story about production techniques, collecting trends, and the challenges of preserving modern coins in exceptional condition. As this documentary unfolds, you'll discover why this inaugural Denver issue has become increasingly desirable, which characteristics separate ordinary examples from premium collector pieces, and what authenticated specimens have realized when offered to serious collectors under the right market conditions. The answers depend on far more than the date alone, making this one of the most fascinating modern United States coins to study. The introduction of the Sacagawea dollar in 2000 represented the United States Mint's renewed effort to encourage public use of the dollar coin after the Susan B. Anthony series struggled to gain widespread acceptance. Congress authorized an entirely new design intended to celebrate both American history and Native American heritage by honoring Sacagawea, the young Shoshone woman whose guidance proved invaluable during the Lewis and Clark expedition. The Denver Mint, operating for more than a century as one of the nation's principal coin-producing facilities, received responsibility for striking an enormous share of the inaugural circulation coins. During the opening year of the new millennium, the United States economy remained relatively strong, electronic commerce continued expanding, and optimism surrounded technological innovation despite recent concerns related to the Y2K transition. Against that backdrop, the Mint hoped the distinctive golden appearance of the new dollar would make it easier to recognize in circulation and encourage broader acceptance among the public. While those expectations ultimately fell short because paper $1 notes remained deeply entrenched, the 2000D issue nevertheless became an important historical milestone, marking the beginning of a completely new chapter in American circulating coinage. Examining the coin itself reveals why many collectors consider it one of the most attractive modern circulating dollars ever produced. The obverse, designed by sculptor Glenna Goodacre, portrays Sacagawea carrying her infant son, Jean-Baptiste, creating a portrait that emphasizes strength, resilience, and motherhood rather than military or political power. Above the portrait appears the word liberty, while the date and the small d mint mark identify the year and Denver origin. The reverse, created by Thomas D. Rogers, SR, depicts a soaring eagle surrounded by 17 stars, symbolizing the states that existed during the Lewis and Clark expedition. Unlike many earlier dollar coins, the Sacagawea dollar features a smooth edge instead of reeding. It measures 26.5 millimeters in diameter, weighs 8.1 grams, and is composed of a pure copper core bonded to outer layers containing manganese brass, giving the coin its famous golden color without containing actual gold. This carefully engineered alloy was selected to resist wear while creating a distinctive appearance that would differentiate the coin from quarters and other circulating denominations. The Denver Mint ultimately produced more than 500 million 2000 Sacagawea dollars, making the issue readily available in circulated grades even today. Yet mintage alone tells only part of the story. Modern collectors quickly discovered that large-scale production, transportation in heavy canvas bags, and normal handling left many coins covered with contact marks before they ever reached circulation. Because the golden alloy readily reveals abrasions across its broad fields, locating an example with exceptional surface preservation becomes far more difficult than raw production figures might suggest. Specialists carefully examine the sharpness of Sacagawea's facial features, the folds of her clothing, the definition of the eagle's feathers, and the consistency of the original mint luster. Coins that retain vibrant surfaces and minimal distractions command substantially greater interest than ordinary circulation pieces. Certified mint state examples in the upper grading tiers have often sold in the neighborhood of approximately $1,250 to $1,850 when outstanding eye appeal, strong luster, and market demand come together, reminding collectors that condition frequently matters far more than mintage. As interest in the series matured, researchers and specialists devoted increasing attention to die varieties and genuine mint errors associated with the 2000 issue. Although the Denver Mint is not known for a major design variety comparable to the famous enhanced tail feathers Cheerios dollars produced from Philadelphia dies, collectors still search carefully for legitimate off-center strikes, broad strikes, struck-through errors, clipped planchets, die cracks, retained cuds, and significant double die varieties that have been documented by recognized experts. It is important to distinguish between authentic mint-produced errors and ordinary post-mint damage, since scratches, environmental corrosion, polishing, and accidental impacts can easily be mistaken for valuable abnormalities by inexperienced collectors. Professional authentication therefore plays a critical role whenever an unusual feature appears. Dramatic certified mint errors with strong visual appeal have occasionally realized prices ranging from roughly $2,300 to $3,700 depending on the nature of the error, the assigned grade, rarity, and competition among advanced collectors. Those impressive results apply only to authenticated examples and should never be interpreted as representing ordinary circulation coins. Understanding professional grading helps explain why seemingly similar coins can differ dramatically in desirability. Third-party grading services evaluate every significant detail, including strike quality, luster, preservation, eye appeal, and the severity of contact marks using the Sheldon numerical scale. Most surviving 2000 Sacagawea dollars fall into circulated or lower mint state grades, where collector premiums remain modest. However, coins certified at the highest mint state levels become increasingly scarce because virtually every minor abrasion counts against achieving elite grades. Unlike traditional copper cents, Sacagawea dollars are not classified according to red, red-brown, or brown color designations. Instead, graders focus on whether the original golden finish remains undisturbed and whether the surfaces exhibit attractive natural coloration free from spotting, discoloration, or improper cleaning. Even a technically well-preserved coin can lose considerable collector appeal if its original surfaces have been altered. As registry set competition has grown over the years, collectors seeking top population examples continue competing vigorously for coins that combine technical excellence with exceptional visual quality. Naturally, increasing values have encouraged both counterfeiters and deceptive alterations, making careful authentication more important than ever. Fortunately, convincing counterfeits of ordinary 2000 Sacagawea dollars remain less common than those targeting classic gold coins or key-date silver dollars, yet altered pieces do appear in the marketplace. Some have been artificially plated, polished, chemically treated, or modified to imitate rare mint errors. Others may display added damage intended to resemble striking defects. Collectors should begin by verifying the correct weight, diameter, edge, magnetic properties, and overall appearance before relying on magnification to inspect the finer details. Comparing questionable examples with certified reference coins can reveal subtle inconsistencies in lettering, relief, and surface texture. Whenever substantial value may be involved, certification by an established third-party grading service provides confidence regarding authenticity, grade, and attribution, while reducing uncertainty for both buyers and sellers. This independent verification has become one of the foundations of today's modern coin market. Perhaps the most enduring lesson of the 2000D Sacagawea dollar is that true numismatic value develops through a combination of history, preservation, rarity, and informed collecting rather than simple age. Most examples encountered in pocket change or stored in old drawers remain worth only their face value, while a carefully preserved, professionally certified coin with exceptional strike quality or an authenticated mint error can occupy an entirely different category in the marketplace. Collectors who discover promising specimens should avoid cleaning them, handle them only by their edges, and store them in archival quality holders or protective capsules to preserve their original surfaces for future evaluation. As interest in modern United States coinage continues expanding, the first-year Denver Sacagawea dollar remains an important cornerstone of many collections because it captures a unique moment when the nation introduced a bold new circulating dollar, honoring one of the most influential figures in the story of American exploration. Its lasting appeal is not built on exaggerated claims, but on documented history, certified quality, genuine rarity where it exists, and the continuing enthusiasm of collectors who recognize that extraordinary examples deserve extraordinary attention.